Okay, so it was back in the, let's have a look, mid 80s. At the time I was living in London, to be precise, in Middlesex, Greenford. Anyway, my parents split up and I went to live with my mum. She found a bungalow in Clacton on Sea. She bought New Start by the sea. Lovely, nice bungalow. So I went to live there with her. It was nice. It was a 2-bedroom bungalow. Not massive, but enough for us. Bedroom each. Had a nice garden. It was long. I had a vegetable patch at the bottom as well. So if you can imagine a long garden, about 5-8 meters wide, suppose, maybe a bit wider, over 100 foot long. Vegetable patch with a gate at the bottom of it, left hand side driveway, leading to the road, and the garage. So yeah, it was nice for a while. It was okay. Enjoyed it. I went exploring, seaside, different. You know, from living in a suburb of London, all built up and you know, same old, the seaside's quite a nice, you know, breath of fresh air. When winter comes, of course, quiet as anything, absolutely dead. But summertime, yeah, a lot goes on. Things didn't start happening, which was odd, for a little while. Then, yeah, some strange stuff happened. One of the first things to happen was, I listened, it was about 11 o'clock at night. Mum had gone to bed. I was listening with the headphones on to Jean Mussel's live at Dogman, I believe it was, on TV. I had my mum's dog with us. She was lovely. Bonnie, mongrel, lovely girl. Not guard dog, just normal house dog. Fluffy, would probably lick you to death if you broke in. And listening to music, had it up, jiggling around. I was sat adjacent to a patio window, which led onto the garden and a bit of patio outside. All of a sudden I heard a bang, bang, bang. I thought, what? Bonnie started growling, and I instantly kind of had the impression that someone was in the garden banging on the window really loud. But bang, bang again. I was like, oh, okay. So I went off through the hallway and knocked on my mum's bedroom door. Yes, mum, you better get up. And she would say, what is it? And I said, well, I told her. I was listening to my headphones, and all of a sudden I heard some banging on the patio window. Couldn't see anyone because, of course, the curtains were drawn. I think we better get up just in case anything happens to me. I've got to go and have a look. So she said, oh, take care, dear. I was like, right, no worries. At the time, I had 2 177 caliber air pistols, actually. Air pistols. So I thought, well, something's better than nothing. And take them in the dark. They, you know, yeah, might scare some people off. So I drew back the curtains. Dark outside, dark, as you'd expect. And then I gingerly slid open the patio door. Bonnie went towards the door, growled, but wouldn't go out. She just wouldn't go out. So I thought, right, I'm not going to force her. And then she stayed in the lounge and then headed on through to where my mum was. Meantime, what I did, I kind of stepped out onto the patio outside, and Ooh. As I was on the patio outside, I could hear strange crying. It sounded like sometimes cats, when they're on heat, can make like a crying baby sound. Sometimes foxes do. But this was a bit like that. It sounded just like babies crying. I couldn't locate the source of the sound. It sounded like it was coming from down the garden, but then it sounded like, it was coming from behind. So I was, don't know. Put me on edge instantly. That instantly put me on edge. And I thought to myself, Lionel, yeah, this is not good. I went down a bit further into the garden. Remember, it was dark. I had a torch. I shone the torch around. Couldn't see anything. As I got about halfway down the garden, I'd say. And believe me, I'm no hero. I was bricking it. Still the crying was going on, quite loud. And all of a sudden, the fence to the side, 6-foot fence, timber built fence, 6-foot fence to the other side, and a fence down the bottom, which enclosed the very end where the vegetable patch were. That just went shuddered, like something had hit it with force, and I could see it shuddering, just like vibrating, shuddering. Like something had hit it, gone over it, but on all three sides, which was really odd. So it was at that point that I thought, that's it, I had enough, and went back inside the house and shut the patio door. After that, I said to my wife, it all went quiet after that. It all went completely quiet. I didn't know what to do. I phoned up the police. It would be like, oh, well, I heard this, like babies crying and then the fence is rattling. Did you see anyone? No. So I don't think that would have worked, really. Oh, are you going that way? No. Yeah, so anyway, in the morning, went out into the garden, couldn't see any scratch marks on the fence, nothing like jumped over. Checked all 3 fences, nothing. They couldn't really see anything, but it would have been in the garden that would have climbed the fence to get out, but all 3 fences at the same time. I mean, it must have been a gang of them, whatever it was, but if it was. At the time, I didn't know anything about cryptids or Dogman, Bigfoot, or anything like that. I was not even 20. And it was back in the day in the 80s, where it just wasn't a common thing, especially in the UK. Ghosts, yes. I mean, I always loved ghosts, intrigued by ghost stories, and from a young age going into the library, because there was no internet. So when I would go into the library, I'd be straight, make a beeline for all the unexplained books. And it would be all the same old, really. Loch Ness Monster, human combustion, spontaneous human combustion. There'd be a book there with an old woman after a famous picture of a woman's leg by a fireplace. The rest of us all burnt up. That famous Nessie photo. Any books that get, but very rare they got any new books in. But I was always very interested. But this thing in the back garden, don't know. The crying, baby sounded like baby crying, really loud. Then bang, 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 the vibration of the fences, and something just ran off, bang against the fences. I don't know. I honestly couldn't see anything afterwards. Had no idea. And it's not the sort of thing, really, you know, Mum wasn't one to make a fuss or to do, you know, she revered the police, didn't really want to call them. I didn't know what to say to the police either. No damage was done, nothing was done, so it just kind of fizzled out that day. And we put it down, you know, I put it down as don't know, really weird. Yeah, so that was one episode that happened there. That was one of the first episodes. Now, so I think, hey, another thing with this bungalow, a few weeks after that was the trains would always keep playing up. So, as luck would have it, the other bungalows, there was about 5 or 6 bungalows in a row on our side of the road, and the drainage system terminated at our bungalow before it veered off on a 90-degree bend towards the road on the main drain. So that's brilliant, which meant if there was any blockage, it would get blocked up our end. So it's my job to go and, as we would call it, go punting. So Mum would oink out the rods, say, right, Phil, time for a bit of punting, because the toilet wouldn't flush properly. It would flush, but it would just, water would raise up. Anyway, this went on quite some time. Another little odd thing that happened. Anyway, we also had things go on like large slugs. Everyone gets slugs, but these things were like, I remember coming home and driving up to, I had an old Audi ATLS, and I pull up onto the driveway and I think, God, so this big black thing, or a couple of big black things in the driveway. From a distance, it looked like a small branch. That's how big these things were. And I thought, oh my word, what the hell? Touching stuff like that is like eek anyway. And it was going towards the house. They were always constantly going towards the house for some reason. Like they were going to have a party in the bungalow, you know. So that was a bit odd. Then we had the loft. So the bungalow had boarded out all the way loft upstairs, and it would have made a nice room. We didn't make it into a room, kind of like left it a bit of storage, but had a window overlooking the garden at the top, which was a UPVC window with an opening which opened outwards at the top of this window. So the bottom section was kind of fixed, and the top section was flappy open out either. Funny enough, it had little curtains on it as well, which I thought was odd, being it was never fully converted into a room. Someone had fitted curtains on there, and nets. That's it, nets as well, if I remember rightly. So anyway, what happened was, we decided one weekend we'd go and visit my sister, who was still living down at her own flat in Acton. And so we said, right, okay then, take my car. So we loaded it all up, and Mum said, oh, before you go, better make sure that window in the loft, make sure that's closed, locked, and close the curtains. Yeah. So I said, yeah, no problem. Being UPVC, it's lockable, had a little key on it. So I made a point. I went up into the loft. Now, access to the loft was via a loft hatch. It wasn't a permanent staircase, it was a loft hatch. And on the other side of the loft hatch was this ladder. It's one of these ladders that sort of swung down, and then you unlatched it, and then if you were lucky, the ladder wouldn't slide out and hit you in the mouth. One of those ones, aluminium ones. So got loft hatch open, which was heavy anyway, so leaving that loft hatch open because it had the ladder attached to it, as it were. Yeah, got up, went over to the window. No lights up. Actually, there was one light up there. There was a light up there. Just one single bulb, no lampshade, nothing, just single bulb. Went over to the window and closed the window, locked it with a key. Then shut the curtains up. Went down to the car, got in. Mum looked at the window. Oh, good boy, good lad. So everything was hunky-dory. So it was good. So we went away. Went to my sister's for the weekend. Came back on the Sunday late, and I was getting stuff out of the car, and then heard Mother cry out, "Oh, oh, well, you locked that door, didn't you? The window up there, the window, you locked it, didn't you?" "Yeah, told you, you saw." "Oh, it was open." So I looked, and the window was open, and the curtains had been drawn back. So I once again, very gingerly, got the loft hatch open, wrestled the ladder so it didn't smack me in the mouth, got that down, went up there, nothing up there, nothing. Always felt odd up there, but then I think attics do somehow. So I didn't expect it to be anything different really. So it did feel a bit odd. Went up there, and yeah, window was open. Key was still in it, the little lock key in the valve for the window where you press the button, and the curtains drew back. That was another strange episode. I was like, what? Why is that? Yeah, so yeah, never got down to the bottom of that one either. That was another episode. No, thinking about it, actually, that was the time when I went to check the window in the loft. That's the weird part. Yes, I remember it was then. So I went up into the loft to check to see why the window was open and the curtains drawn back after we'd been away for the weekend. In the loft, to the left-hand side of me, as I was walking to the window, like in front of me, left-hand side of me, I saw two birds lying on their backs, side by side, with their wings crossed in front of their chest. Now these birds, I swear, these birds were like doves, like white, absolutely white, powdery white. But it looked like they'd been dead for quite some time. And yeah, guess what? I'd never seen them before up there, and all the time we were there, and we must have been there a good, I don't know, 6-7 months there already. And I quite often go traipsing into the attic to load some stuff up there and dump it. Never did I see them. But how odd that they were lying side by side on their back with their wings over their chest. That was freaky. Why didn't I remember that? Yeah, that was so odd. So odd. So once again, I told her, I said to Mum, well, got to bury a couple of dead birds. And, oh, no. I'm like, yeah, yeah. By this time, it was getting kind of like normal for us to have this kind of stuff go on. You know, we were like, oh, no, dead birds. Oh, that's great. Oh, crying babies in the garden. No, it's dead birds. Oh, that's great. Oh, mind you don't trip on a giant slug as well. Yeah, yeah. Before you go punting. Yeah, it was getting quite the norm. But that was really big. So again, I had to lift them up, scoop them up, use a little trowel, and scoop them up from the attic, take them downstairs, and I buried them in the garden. Yeah, very weird. Don't know what that was about. Lying side by side, very, very close to each other, side by side. Their wings folded in front of them on their chest. So if you guys know what that is it a cult, witchcraft? What? I don't know. But that coupled together with it was at that time that the landing window was open. The attic window open and the curtains drawn back when I'd locked them and closed them. We'd been away the weekend. Nothing else. The place was locked up. No one had got in through the doors. There was no break-in. There was nothing. Absolutely nothing. How someone got in to get up in the loft, to open up the window, draw back the curtains, and then with the loft hatch, put the loft hatch up again. You know, weird. So yeah, that was such an odd one. And it was after that we started hearing footsteps. And the footsteps were in the loft. So I'd be in the bedroom, just doing my thing, you know, listening to a bit of music, you know, just doing like normal stuff, you know, watching TV, listening to radio. It'd be quite normal to hear footsteps like bang, bang, bang on the in the loft because it was boarded, so it resonated. You could hear it. For the first few times, quite a few times, went up into the loft. Nothing up there. Nobody. Nothing. Zilcho. But we heard the footsteps. So yeah, really odd. You know, kind of exorcism time. But once again, what could we do? Who could we go to? You know, it was back in the 80s. No one would be, you know, don't know. It could call police, go to a church. Don't know. You know, it would be a long-winded affair if we did. You know, so. And by this time we were talking about, oh God, you know, Mum was like, oh, I don't know about this place, something strange about it, you know. So you know, it wasn't really working for us anyway. But and it seemed to just get worse and worse and worse, slowly. So yeah, we had the footsteps in the loft, which was regular, and then running. Footsteps wouldn't just like be just walking. No, running, and run from one end of the bungalow in the loft to the other, and then back down again. Odd. It's also funny with houses which have a lot of trouble, you know, odd stuff going on, unexplained, you know, generally creepy places that you think, oh, yeah, that don't have creepy stuff going on, but just odd, really, really odd stuff going on around them. That's the thing. Got two cases in point, really. One case being with the bungalow we were living in. One evening, we were watching TV, and that was Mum and me. We were just in the lounge watching TV, And all of a sudden, great big massive bang, huge, out the front. So we looked out the front door, and our 3 foot high brick built wall with a gate in the middle just stoved into, gone. Bricks everywhere, all over the front of the garden, pavement, mostly in the garden though, all over. As if a car had mounted the pavement and gone into the fence and just stoved it completely in, just like gone straight into the brick wall, and yeah, just basically destroyed it. Now, that would have been all fine and dandy, but didn't see any car, didn't see any aftermath of a car, broken glass, bits of plastic, tyre marks, nothing, absolutely nothing. Didn't see anything to say that a car had hit it. Even the neighbours, not one came out, not one neighbour. And we had what, 5, 6 houses our side, the same on the other side of the road. Where we were was nearby was a bus stop as well, but there was nothing. So basically, our brick wall was gone, bricks all over, like I say, and nothing to show that a car, and no one had seen a car mount the pavement, go into it. So, and it could have been some drunks go by, maybe they kicked the wall in, whatever. Yeah, it could have been. You've got to remember that the bricks were laying mostly on the grass, so it's been kicked from roadside in. So what made the big bang? Huge bang it was. If you'd just shut your eyes and imagined the car going into the brick wall, that's the sound it would have been. Yeah, so that's another little episode that was just, I don't know, can't fathom that one at all. And to this day, I have been back there to look from the outside, and when I rebuilt the wall, it's still there. But of course, I was young and had no idea, and I built the brick wall back, but a bit arse about face. So I didn't realise there was a rough side, an outer side to the brick and an inner side. So kind of when you look at the brick wall, you can soon see which bungalow it was, because the brick wall is a mishmash of bricks with the rough side and smooth side all on the same side as you look at it, if you like. So yeah, a bit of a cock up there by me. But yeah, so that was another odd episode. Oh yeah, another strange one that happened. And this was quite odd, but not creepy, not ghosty. Just, I don't know, coincidental at the time, oddly coincidental, and not the sort of thing that, you know, you would kind of think would be happen, you know, that would happen. So a few weeks, or I think about a few weeks later, about 6 weeks I believe it was, later, after the brick wall going, so I was in the bedroom, I forget now precisely where I was, but I know Mum was in the bathroom. So Mum was in the bathroom going to the loo, and then going to have a bath, and she was getting ready to go into the bathroom, sorry. And anyway, I saw a lot of blue lights going off. I thought, oh, it's a bit odd, bit of activity out the front. So I had a little look out, went out the front door, and there was quite a few police officers in cars, they'd stopped outside, and police officers were like, get back into your home and lock the doors and windows. And I was like, what's going on? We've got, we're looking for somebody. And I was like, oh, okay, that's great. All right then. So anyway, this went on a little while, and the moment Mum went into the bathroom, yeah, to go to the loo, she then switched on the bathroom light. The moment she switched on the bathroom light, because the light through the frosted glass window shone on a small alleyway down by the side of the bungalow, and the guy they were looking for was down that alleyway, crouching down. But as Mum went into the bathroom to use the loo, the light came on, lit him up like a firework. Police saw him, boom, and you heard the shout, there he is, quick, go. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, she should have got a medal for that one, but no, she didn't. Yeah, so that was another, not exactly strange, not exactly paranormal, but yeah, odd nonetheless. You know, stuff you just think, really, with everything else going on. Yeah, a bit odd. So yeah, it was another episode. Yeah, see if I can't. Okay, so one of the last things, a couple of last things that happened in that bungalow at Chloe's Lane in Clacton On Sea. I was coming out of the bedroom. No, coming out of the lounge. I remember coming out of the lounge, and I was going into the kitchen. So as I was doing that, I came below, walking below in the hallway, the loft hatch. Now, as soon as I went underneath the loft hatch, I felt a cold blast of air breathing, and then I could hear somebody's voice say, "Phil, beware." I remember that to this day. Phil, beware. Beware of what? I don't know. But yeah, really, honestly, it's so distinctive. Just I heard that. Male voice. Yeah, that was very distinctive and quite, yeah, weird. Now we moved out of the bungalow, and we moved back down to London. Well, not exactly London. We're just on the outskirts, West London. Back in Middlesex again, basically. And it wasn't until afterwards I was talking about stuff, you know, with Mum. I said, "Oh yeah, you know, when I was, I didn't tell you, Mum, that when I was walking underneath the loft hatch, there was something in that loft, you know, Mum. There was definitely something in that loft with the footsteps, the running, the dead birds lying there, the window open. You know, there was something I just felt odd. It was not right. It was not right. And it wasn't us. You know, that's kind of. It's not. It just wasn't. And she said, "You know what, Phil? Never told you this because I didn't want to scare you. But one evening, I was coming out of the bathroom, and I get this: the loft hatch was heavy. Okay, so it had a ladder on it on the other side of it. She said, I saw the loft hatch bang up and down as if it was being lifted and closed from above. There was no one below, Mum was just watching it, looking up at the ceiling, watching it open and close, but banging. Now, you could say, oh, you know, it's the wind getting up, maybe there's a draft, there was a window in the loft, and the wind was getting in, and negative air pressure, and, you know, that was causing it to do, but, hey, if you felt the weight of the loft hatch, there was no way that would cause the loft hatch that heavy to bang up and down repeatedly. And my mum didn't tell me that. I never knew that. Didn't see it. Never knew that. I always knew it was a bit ooh, but you know, but no, I never saw the loft hatch. So she didn't tell me to afterwards after we left. But yeah, I believe her. You know, so anyway, listen, thank you for listening to me, listening to the podcast. It's something I wanted to get off my chest. I wanted to document what went on there, and thank you once again. And this has been the Interdimensional Voyagers podcast.